The honourable member for St. John's South.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Last week, when I asked about the rental allowance rate provided to income support, by income support, the Minister responded by saying that government was aware of the issue regarding affordable housing. I asked the Minister responsible for poverty reduction, if you are aware of the issue, why have you not addressed the fact that income support only provide a maximum family rental allowance of $522 per month, when you know it clearly isn't enough to pay rent of $800 to $1,000 a month?
The Honourable Minister of Advanced Education and Skills.
Mr. Speaker, we've increased the rental supplement out of Newfoundland and Labrador housing. Matter of fact, we've doubled it from 4 million to 8 million. Matter of fact, the first government in 25 years to do so, Mr. Speaker. And we understand that we've created an economy that's given us certain challenges in regards to affordable housing. And we work with all the groups, including Newfoundland and Labrador Housing, to address that issue, and we'll continue to do so. Matter of fact, we do a lot of we got a lot of programs within poverty reduction strategy too as well. The action plan of Newfoundland and Labrador, which was announced in 2006, and we'll continue to implement that plan, Mr. Speaker. And it's been hailed right across the country in regards to being one of the best plans that was ever tabled, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for St. John's South.
There's no new money in this year's budget for rental supplements, Mr. Speaker. Families are sending their children to school hungry because the rent allowance is only half of what is required to pay rent. There are more people turning to soup kitchens. The food bank usage in this province is the highest in the country. I asked the Minister responsible for poverty reduction, is this a part of your poverty reduction strategy?
The Honourable Minister of Advanced Education and Skills.
Mr. Speaker, we've invested $149 million annually to combat poverty reduction in this province, Mr. Speaker. It's been hailed by the BC Poverty Coalition, Mr. Speaker, as an approach that their province should be taken as well, Mr. Speaker. The Citizens of Public Justice have ranked Newfoundland and Labrador as first in its 2013 National Poverty Trend Scoreboard, Mr. Speaker. And in 2013, a report by the University of Toronto rated Newfoundland and Labrador as the first to access affordable and safe, nutritious food, Mr. Speaker. And we'll continue to invest in the vulnerable people of this province, Mr. Speaker, and we've done so since 2003.
The honourable member for St. John's South.
I can tell the Minister that the people that are taking money from their food budget to pay their rent are not very excited about these statistics. Mr. Speaker, today's private member's motion is on seniors, the tax benefit being distributed to 42,000 low-income seniors in this province. There are a total of 90,000 seniors in the province. I asked the Minister responsible for poverty reduction, what does this say about your poverty reduction strategy when almost half of our seniors in this province are living in poverty?
The Honourable Minister of Advanced Education and Skills.
Mr. Speaker, no government in the history of Newfoundland and Labrador has invested in seniors like this government, Mr. Speaker. We put more money into the pockets of seniors than any other government in our past history, Mr. Speaker. We have eliminated things like the tax on auto insurance, Mr. Speaker, that puts money directly into their pockets, Mr. Speaker. And we've had the heat supplement, and we've had various other programs. We've increased the seniors benefits program. We've increased the number of prescription drugs that is covered under the Newfoundland and Labrador prescription drug program, Mr. Speaker. You know, I tell you, seniors are the dear to everyone's heart in this House of Assembly, and we'll continue to invest in our seniors, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable member for St. John's South.
None of what the Minister just said, Mr. Speaker, helps people pay their rent when they're only getting half the amount required to pay their rent on income support. None of what the Minister just said, Mr. Speaker, helps seniors put food in their fridge when most of them are walking the malls in the winter to stay warm. Mr. Speaker, the low-income seniors benefit is indexed each year based on the Consumer Price Index. I asked the Minister responsible for poverty reduction, why are you indexing seniors benefits to keep within the cost of living, but not income support rates?
The Honourable Minister of Advanced Education and Skills.
Mr. Speaker, I nearly asked the honourable member to take this plan, Reducing Poverty, an excellent plan for Newfoundland and Labrador, which was tabled and developed in 2006, and have a read. because this is a plan, an action plan that we've committed to and will continue to implement, Mr. Speaker. And I'd table it and ask the honourable member to have a read, I tell you, because when I mentioned the BC Poverty Coalition and all the groups across Canada as hailing this as one of the best plans ever developed, it is true, Mr. Speaker. And we will continue to invest in our seniors, Mr. Speaker, and we'll continue to invest in our vulnerable people like no other government this province has ever known, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for St. John South.
Mr. Speaker, I ask the Minister, does he really think he's putting a smile on the faces of the families who can't afford to pay their rent because income support is only giving them half of what they require to pay their rent? When are you going to increase the rental rates for people on income support when it's only $5.22 and the rent is $1,000?
Good job.
Order, please. Order, please. The Honourable Minister of Advanced Education and Skills.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to remind the honourable member that he voted for the budget, Mr. Speaker. You know, and that's a fact. You know, you can't come into this house. You can't come into this house. You can't come into this house and talk out of two sides of your mouth, Mr. Speaker. You know, he recognised the value of the last budget. He recognised the challenges of the last budget. He recognised before that we were investing in our seniors. He recognised that we were investing in our most vulnerable, Mr. Speaker. Tell the honourable member to stop talking out of two sides of his mouth.
The member for St. John South.
Mr. Speaker, a point of order. During question period, the Minister responsible for poverty reduction said that I voted in favour of the budget. That is a misleading statement, Mr. Speaker. I did not vote in favour of this year's budget. I voted against this year's budget, and I'd like for him to clarify.
Order, please. Order, please.
Check answer, boys.
Order, please. Order, please. Speaker will check the records of Hansard to verify the facts and report back at a later date. Yesterday, I want to respond to a point of order that was raised yesterday by the member for St. John South when he was raised a point of order with respect to comments made by the Honourable Minister of Responsible for Advanced Education and Skills with respect to some actions by the member for St. John South during the vote on the budget, this year's budget. And I've checked Hansard, and the member for St. John South voted against the budget in May of 2013.